This is day 16 of 40 days at the foot of the cross, a gaze of love from the heart of our Blessed Mother. Today's reflection is entitled, The Greatest of Miracles. Jesus said, "Do not weep any longer, for she is not dead, but sleeping." And they ridiculed him because they knew that she was dead. But he took her by the hand and called to her, "Child, arise." Her breath returned and she immediately arose. He then directed that she should be given something to eat. This was but one of the many miracles that Jesus performed. Our Blessed Mother witnessed Jesus' miracles throughout his public ministry. His first miracle at the wedding of Cana was done at her request. After that, Jesus performed many more. The dead were raised, the multitudes were fed, demons were cast out, the blind and deaf were cured, and so much more. As our Blessed Mother stood at the foot of the cross, she would have hoped for one more miracle. As she gazed at her Son, she heard the mockery of the scribes and the elders as they said, "He saved others, he cannot save himself. So he is the King of Israel? Let him come down from the cross now, and we will believe him." And though there were some who were hoping that Jesus would come down from the cross and save himself in an earthly way, the miracle that our Blessed Mother hoped for was far greater. What miracle did she hope for as she gazed at the crucifixion of her Son? She hoped that the saving grace of his perfect sacrifice would be poured on all people so as to wipe away their sins. She hoped that the very scribes, Pharisees, and elders who mocked her Son would convert and be saved on account of his death. She hoped that the soldiers who nailed him to the wood would come to see the power of his cross and turn their lives over to her Son. The greatest miracle that our Blessed Mother hoped for at the foot of the cross was the salvation of the world. Like Mary, we too must seek the greatest good in our lives and in the lives of others. Though at times we can be selfish in our desires and hopes, we must push beyond this selfishness and seek the miracle that was the culmination of Jesus' life. We must seek our own eternal salvation and the salvation of all. Reflect today upon the miraculous power of our Divine Lord. He can raise the dead, heal the sick, feed the multitude, and restore sight to the blind. But there is one thing that he cannot do. He cannot impose the grace of his saving sacrifice upon those who obstinately resist it. Commit yourself to total openness to this grace so that Jesus' greatest miracle may be accomplished more fully in your life, and so that the hope of the heart of our Blessed Mother may be fulfilled. Let us pray. My dear Mother, you witnessed so many miraculous events in the life and ministry of your Son. You saw him raise the dead, heal the sick, and cast out demons. As you stood before the cross on which hung your only Son, you may have been tempted to despair. But in your perfect faith, you dismissed such temptations and hoped in the last and greatest miracle offered by your Son. You had perfect hope in the miracle of the salvation of the world. My dear Mother, pray for me that I may be a recipient of this last and greatest miracle. Help me to open wide the door of my heart so that I may receive all that your Son offers me from the cross. My precious Lord, I thank you for this last and greatest act of your love. I thank you for the grace poured forth from your cross for my salvation and that of the whole world. I open my life to you, dear Lord, and beg that I may receive all that you wish to bestow upon me. I love you, dear Lord. Help me to love you more. Mother Mary, pray for me. Jesus, I trust in you.